Today I'm in the kitchen making profiteroles. These are little 2 or 3 bite-sized pastries that you can really fill with just about anything. They have a light, crispy crust and a delicate light-as-air inside, perfect for filling with pastry cream or whipped cream for a decadent dessert, which is what I'll be using them for today. My name's Rebecca, and welcome to the kitchen. This is how I make a profiterole. I'm starting off by adding 3/4 of a cup of milk and 3/4 of a cup of water to a sauce pot over medium heat. I'm going to add in 2/3 of a cup of butter. It doesn't really matter if it's softened or not. If you're taking it right out of the fridge, it'll just take longer to melt. Add in 1 tablespoon of sugar and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. If you only have salted butter on hand, omit the salt. My grandmother always cooked this way and was never really bothered about salted or unsalted butter. For most recipes, you can get away with using salted butter if you just leave out the added salt in the recipe. If you're having a hard time measuring 2/3 of a cup of butter, since here anyways, packaged butter from the store has 1 cup, 1/2 cup, and 1/4 cup markings, fill a large glass measuring cup with cold water, leaving 1 cup left at the top that's empty. Drop the butter inside, ensuring it goes under the water. When the water reaches the 2/3 cup, you know you have displaced that much water and you have 2/3 of a cup measured. Growing up, I don't remember having pre-measured butter, so that's the technique we used to measure our butter. I'm going to cook this mixture on medium until it reaches a simmer, and then I'm going to turn it down to medium-low. After it's simmered for a few minutes, I'm going to add in the flour and stir with a wooden spoon or strong spatula. I'm going to keep stirring until all the flour is incorporated and it becomes a smooth dough ball that cleans the sides of the pot. To use my stand mixer, but you can also use a large bowl with beaters. Add the dough to the bowl with the paddle attachment and mix on medium to cool down the dough enough so you can add the eggs. With the mixer still going, add the 5 eggs one at a time and continue to mix until you have a thick batter. You'll have to stop and scrape down the bowl once or twice during the process. Now I'm going to get out a large piping bag with a large circular tip. This is going to help me pipe smooth, uniform dough balls. About half the batter fit into my piping bag, so I'm going to need to fill it up twice. Now I'm going to start piping it onto a lined baking sheet. I'm piping about 1 to 2 tablespoons worth of batter into each one, and separated by about 1.5 inches so they have room to puff up in the oven. Don't worry too much about their shape right now, we're going to fix them before they go into the oven. Get a small glass of water and with a wet fingertip smooth down the top of the dough balls. If you leave them in this kind of candy kiss shape, the little tip at the top will burn. Meanwhile, I'm going to preheat my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Then I can bake my profiteroles for 10 minutes. This first burst of heat will help them puff up. Then I reduce the temperature to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and continue to cook for 15 minutes or until they're golden and feel really light and hollow. If they're undercooked, they'll still have a bit of heaviness left to them and they will collapse as they cool. Let them cool completely before filling. Luckily, they cool very quickly since they're basically hollow on the inside. There are 2 ways to fill profiteroles. Either cut them and fill them, or if you have a soft, creamy filling like I do today, you can use a piping bag to poke an inconspicuous hole and fill them with the piping bag. To do this, I try to find a weak, thin spot somewhere I can easily poke through. Pop in the tip of the piping bag and pipe the filling until you can feel the weight in your hand. And that's it. If you want to add an added flourish to sweet profiteroles, you can drizzle them with chocolate, dip them in caramel, or dust them with icing sugar. Enjoy!